Alright. Alright, let me just unmute myself on Discord. Hello?
Meow.
Oh boy. Is everything fine here in that department? Everything is fine in that department. I'm just going to stop that War Thunder music. There you go, there you go. How's it going? Hello? Can you hear me? Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, you can hear me? Good. Alright, so, are you ready for the stupid challenge? What are you drinking tonight?
Okay, I'll show. Same as last time.
Fucking Absolute vodka. I got also
Oh,
same as last time.
can you do me a favor and just say meow? Like how I was doing it?
Meow.
There, he said it.
Meow. I don't know. I don't know.
Alright, there he said it again. Okay, that should be fine. Anyway, so last time we did this,
Yeah.
Norman's dad got very mad at him because he got drunk. So this time, there's going to be another layer to the challenge in that whenever someone says something stupid, we have to try to rationalize it as
Yeah.
sarcastically or as best we can, and only take the shot as a last resort.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, let's add a rule. If it needs to be genuinely stupid, like genuinely idiotic, for us to have a shot. Because I don't know if I told you, but this thing, I cannot smell this thing anymore without gagging up. It's that bad. It's not even strong. It's not even that strong. It's 23%. It's not even bad. Wait, is it cutting out? I can't hear you.
Oh, I didn't say anything.
Oh, okay, okay. I feel like I'm on a radio show. Holy shit. So, let's open this up. I don't know where my shot glasses are, so I guess I'm gonna pour like a bottom of this glass and that kind of as a shot. Guess. Alright, let's open this brand new bottle I bought last week because we were supposed to do it last week. Am I right? LOL XD. Jesus Christ. Alright, here goes nothing. The fuck are you doing? God. Alright. It's not making me gagging up. It's not making me gag up, so good. Eee, fuck. Shit. Still there with me?
Yep.
Alright. With the massive fucking Mark Felton saying subscribe. I'm just going to you know what, fuck it. Anyway. Alright. Is everything clear? Alright, so there will be latency on the video, on the stream, because my internet's trash. Doesn't seem too bad. Now, are you ready?
Yep.
Let's watch the top 5 worst tanks in World War II. Let's just lower the volume. Anthony Grant. That's a Lee. That's just a Lee, okay. M4.
Okay, here we go. I don't think this is going to provide any explanations, though.
Yeah, except pixels. So we got M12.
It's not an M12.
That's not. Wait, let's rationalize. Let's rationalize on this. Is this an
Okay,
M12?
hold up.
I
Let's
can.
see if they put another picture. Okay, if they put the right thing next, we'll just pass this off as a
Okay.
mistake.
Okay. Granted, it's just a typo.
Yes, and if anything else is a typo.
KV7.
What are some comments on this? Oh, you paused?
Yeah, I paused it. I paused it.
Oh.
So the KV7 is one of the worst tanks of the Second World War. I think composed of a double-barreled KV2 turret with a double-barreled, like what, that's a T70 turret, 2 KV1 turret, and 2 BT5 turret with a BM13 rocket launcher. That's great. M5 Stuart. Good, it's an M5. It's actually an M5.
Yeah, I thought they were gonna put an M3.
Yeah. Or like a Scott. That's a top 5 cancer. That's not a top 10. I feel like I'm beating up a handicapped kid right now. Like reacting to this video.
I'm gonna look in the hold up, see what the comments say. These were all very good tanks, except for the one never built. The Grant was poor design, but it was a stopgap measure. The main gun scared the #% out of Panzer IIIs and even early 4s. The Sherman was a good tank, quite reliable to its day, way more maintainable than its Soviet counterpart, but quickly outdated. The M4 was not the best tank, but it was far from the worst. When it comes to the worst tank, the Bob Semple T-35 or any Italian tank would be much worse.
Let's just pass on the other video. I feel bad right now.
Yeah.
This is not going well. Battle stations, boys.
German assault.
Yo, it's a Sherman. That's a Sherman.
Out of the urgent need to produce an allied tank to rival the mighty panzers of the German army.
Factually true.
In a triumph of industrial
Hey, what?
production.
Wait. On the stream, our cameras have paused.
Really? Are they?
Yeah. Yeah.
What the fuck? Is OBS having a seizure or what?
Oh, now we're. Wait, hold up. Now it's just me that's being dumb. Your end's moving, but my end does not.
You're smooth. What I'll do is
Oh, wait,
just.
it's moving. It's moving now. It's moving now. It's just heavily desynced.
Yeah.
All right.
More Shermans would be made than every type of German tank put together.
Yeah, that's true.
Using archive film and color reconstructions, Battle Stations tells the story of the Sherman tank. Fast and reliable, but with a fundamental weakness. Its armor was no match for the high-velocity German guns the tanks would come up against.
Fair.
Our armor is not even maybe half the thickness of the German tanks. Their guns, the rounds they fire could just go right through just like butter.
All right.
Okay, so let's unwrap that a little bit. So, half the thickness. That is wrong.
Untrue. Well, perhaps the Tiger 2, but like, that's the only tank that really has twice as much armor.
Yep.
So that's fundamentally wrong. The recon is worth a shot, though. Hello? Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. I'm thinking about it.
Okay.
But because it does apply in one instance, it did not explicitly say like Tiger, Panther, or Panzer IV.
Yeah.
So I think we can pass it this time.
Okay. We gave it a pass.
Yes.
I'm really dreading the first shot. Like,
So no shot, no shot.
The Germans had their own nickname for the Sherman.
They called them nonsense.
Oh no. No! Why? No! Oh, we're less than 1 minute in. Okay.
is this
Okay. Okay, do you think this explanation is viable?
Wait,
It
repeat.
didn't mention what year. It didn't mention Germans of what year.
Oh no,
And
that's
it didn't mention-
just no, that's
It
bullshit.
didn't mention if it was, and if it didn't mention if they were actually Germans or German, as in LARPers, aka wearaboos.
Nah, that's.
Oh,
Nah.
there has to be an explanation. Okay, what's another explanation? The Germans called them Ronsons. How can that be justified?
Pay for the Ronson lighter was one flick and it lights.
But
That's
the
a Churchill.
Germans would make a vital contribution towards the Allied victory in Normandy.
Oh, we haven't delivered the verdict on if the Ronson thing is worth it.
Yeah, I was just watching further to see if like there was an explanation or something.
Oh. Yep. It just talked about the lighter.
It's a shot. I'm sorry. Ronson is. It's automatically a shot. Fuck, I hate this. I feel like I'm already going to throw up.
Oh.
Give me a
Oh, I
second.
tried to drink through the mask.
You have to take it through. Yeah, you gotta remove that mask.
No.
So that's about worth a shot. Ooh, fuck me. Oh, God.
Now my mask is just wet.
I hate strong alcohol. I hate it so much. It's not even strong. Oh, fuck. God damn it. God. Why did we do this? And people actually drink this. Fuck. Fuck.
Yeah, I'm back. I tried to drink it through the mask, but it just made it smell.
Oh, fuck me. I don't think I can actually do this. Like, genuinely, I feel bad, but I'm legit just going to throw up. I can't drink that thing.
Have you taken a sip? I wasn't here.
I took a shot. Ugh.
Okay, so now we have an incentive to like not make any more, no matter how stupid of an explanation
I'm
we
not-
have to come up with.
I'll be honest with you, I'm going to be a bitch. Call me a bitch. I'm not taking another one.
Okay.
I'm gonna go grab a beer instead, because a beer can actually go nicely. Fuck this thing.
Okay.
Oh, fuck me. I almost threw up. Legit almost. Fuck. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go grab a beer. I'm never drinking this again. I'll be right back. Oh, fuck me. Oh, I'm back.
Hey Norman, so what was what's the latest thing you've painted?
Models?
Yes.
Wait, I'll try to show it up on stream. Sorry to everyone joining now. I cannot drink that thing. Genuinely cannot.
Oh, you're gonna show a photo of it. Okay.
Is it appearing on stream?
Yes, it is.
Okay, great. So yeah, it's a Sherman. And M43 is the new Zvezda one. Is the new Zvezda one.
What's the scale?
35th.
How many 135 Shermans do you have?
How many 135 Shermans I have?
Yeah.
Shermans exclusively.
Yes.
Okay, Shermans exclusively. I need to pull up a picture. It would be on Discord.
Can you wait? So you can't just like look over to your shelf and count it?
No, because it's on the other. It's in the under room. It's. I think I have like 10.
Woo lad. How many Shermans do I have?
I have. Oh, give me a second. Model kit? No, not model kits. Okay, so I have
I only have 5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, counting M10 and M36.
Woo, still very woo lad. And what about all scales? How many of all scales?
I've got 1/72 scale unfinished Sherman.
Woo.
Oh fuck, it lagged again. This OBS is being a bitch. Alright, so. Wait, I'm being watched by a VTuber? What the fuck? You said that in the comments.
Oh yeah, yeah. Surprised.
I don't even know who that is, to be honest. Anyway, shall we watch? Right now I've got a beer instead. Because I genuinely cannot drink this thing. I'm going to give it away to a friend or something because I just cannot. It's going to make me throw up. Ready? Hello?
Yes.
Alright, good.
Yeah.
This tank battle of World War II, they led the breakout that destroyed the German army in the West.
The tank is not an instrument which is developed to save lives. It's an instrument which is developed to kill. Kill or
Yeah.
kill was the motto. Kill or be killed.
Do you recon that was a motto?
I think he's just saying hypothetically, so we can.
Yeah, it
So
doesn't.
this isn't stupid. It's not stupid.
Nah. That's a Samoa. That's an S35. Also, that's not a. Well, yeah, it's a Sherman, but it's a Grizzly. Good enough.
Tanks were first used by the British in the First World War to break the stalemate of the Western Front. Heavy, cumbersome monsters, they often broke down. In the interwar years, light tanks became popular because of their speed
Oh
and
my god.
mobility.
OBS is a bitch right now.
But they had only thin armor and a small caliber gun.
Yeah.
In the 1930s, the Germans began to develop heavier tanks with thicker armor and bigger guns. along
Says
with a whole
German,
new
shows
family of mobile
French.
mechanized
Autism siren. Oh fuck! I shouldn't have said
In
that.
May 1940, Hitler launched a blitzkrieg, lightning war, against France, Belgium, and the Netherlands.
Wasn't Blitzkrieg just a propaganda term and not the actual name of the thing?
Yeah.
9 fast-moving panzer divisions supported by infantry broke through in the Ardennes forest,
Is it?
crossed the River Meuse, and routed the Allied armies.
Okay,
all within 10 days.
This is not for a shot, but shouldn't it be infantry supported by 9 panzer divisions? Because, you know, tanks were supposed to, you know, cover the infantry back then. Do you read? Anyway, let's just go. Yeah, what's up, Joe?
Blitzkrieg is historical shorthand for fast, mobile operations by tanks and mechanized infantry. Many armies experimented with it, but it was the Germans who brought it to perfection. It's as much psychological as it is physical, making the enemy feel defeated, as well as actually beating him in the field.
Meanwhile, in the United States...
Okay, so I think most people who watch, can you put?
Wait, repeat
Yeah, I
that?
think most people who are watching this already know, but Blitzkrieg was not entirely exactly a new idea. It was based on old Prussian thinking of
Well-
maneuver warfare.
Well, yeah, maneuver warfare is very old, but it's actually the French that developed, well, General Charles de Gaulle that actually developed the modern concept of Blitzkrieg, and not the Germans. He invented it, wrote a book about it, the Germans read it and used it. That's how it went down.
Wait, are you taking a shot for that? What is that?
No, because it's not common knowledge. That's a thing. It's a very
Yeah,
dark.
that's just-
It's
Yep.
it's like a niche part of history because the Germans were actually really the first one to use it. They did not create it, but they were the first one to use it.
Yeah, alright, so let's continue.
Yeah.
Equipped with only a few hundred ancient tanks from World War I.
Wait, what?
Many armies experimented with it, but it was the Germans who brought it to perfection. It's as much psychological as it is physical, making the enemy feel defeated, as well as actually beating him in the field.
Meanwhile, in the United States, the army was in a poor state. Tiny in numbers and equipped with only a few hundred ancient tanks from World War I.
Yeah.
Wait.
I mean,
What year?
at the time where the Germans invaded this, they were on the M2.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like M2 isn't really World War One.
It's based on World War One doctrine, but it's not World War One.
Yeah.
Is that shot worthy? Yeah,
Okay, so they said that they have a few ancient tanks from World War One.
yeah, a few
I
hundred.
think the overall point that they're trying to make was that the
The
U.S.
were lacking
were
behind. They were lacking.
a bit behind, and like this was just used like kind of like an exaggeration. And since
Yeah.
they were like based on similar doctrine, I
Uh,
guess.
we can leave it a pass, I guess.
But the U.S. did like was quite enthusiastic about using light tanks, like cavalry during the time, which is why like the M2 lights
Yeah.
were a thing.
But
Were quite
the
a
thing is that the M2 is not based upon World War One doctrine. It was made to go fast,
yeah.
unlike unlike
Okay, like there's the M2 medium and there's the M2 light. We're talking about the M2 light.
or the medium. Well, both M2. No, the M2 was created in response of the Blitzkrieg, right? If I remember correctly.
I need to check that. M2 medium or light?
The medium one. Yeah, like Invictus says in the chat, it was the cult of the machine gun, which I don't think is really World War One. You there? Still there?
Yeah, yeah.
So it is.
But I guess the cult of the machine gun kind of resembles World War One, so in that
Not
sense,
really. It's more like because World War One tanks had like what, two machine guns at best, or
okay, no.
the the male tanks, the female tanks had
Yeah, not
three.
for female had
The three, two on the sides, one in the near the
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 front.
driver. Huh?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like they saw the
I
effectiveness of
guess
the
you can
engine.
say it's arguing on principle. I guess I don't know.
I think
Again,
I think we've
still
been.
think I still think it's I still think it's we can give it a pass because it's vague enough and it's just more trying to emphasize a point.
Yeah. Okay. Let's just continue. Let's just go on.
Now, almost every tank in the US arsenal became obsolete overnight.
Fair.
Although still neutral, American industry began speedily to adapt for war, starting the transformation into what would be called the arsenal of democracy.
Freedom!
America.
To achieve the high level of tank production needed to catch up, the automobile industry was asked to offer up its management, manpower, and mass production expertise for war production.
Fair.
Idiot, this is capitalist propaganda!
The president of Chrysler Corporation, K.T. Keller, responded to the call and mobilized Detroit for war. Keller recommended building a new tank factory. Within a month, quiet Michigan cornfields had become a factory producing tanks, known as the Detroit Arsenal.
I just want to see something. Can you look up? Wait, I'm gonna just look it up. Lima Locomotive Works. Where is it? Yeah, it's Lima, USA. It's in Ohio.
Gozaimasu.
Oh, shut the fuck up. So,
Ohayou gozaimasu.
Chrysler didn't produce much Shermans compared to the Lima locomotive work in Detroit. Guys, yeah. Do you think that's shot worthy?
Again, it's like technical details based on. So, yeah.
Ah.
Soon, streaming off the production line was the M3 medium tank.
Okay. Skipping over the M2, but
The
okay.
army planners wanted a new, better tank to try to match the German Panzers. Chrysler staff and military engineers began work on a new engine.
No. Okay, that's a shot. That's
Not exactly stupid as much as misinformed.
It's well, I mean, you're doing a documentary on the Sherman. Like the R975 was used on the M2. It wasn't a new engine.
Okay, every time. Okay, so well, let's take a shot, but this shot counts for every
Yeah.
time this documentary fails to mention the M2. So anytime that M2 should have been mentioned, we don't take a shot. This one counts for it.
All right, if you say so. All right. Oh, there's 8 people talking. All right, you. All right.
A team of designers came up with plans for a tank with a turret-mounted 75mm gun. This meant designing a new heavy turret capable of a 360-degree traverse.
Honestly, we should really watch a Mark Felton video at this point. On the Tiger.
Dun, 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 dun.
Dun, 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 dun.
Okay, let's.
What?
There are two kinds of people that watch Mark Felton: wearaboos who want to feel their confirmation bias,
Yeah.
and people who want free unwatermarked combat footage. Seriously, that guy does not watermark his combat footage. Like, I'm pretty sure, like, almost half the stuff I use is stolen from him. I
Two
hope he
S
doesn't watch
two
this
two SS Panthers against 1 Sherman, versus 21 Sherman.
Oh, that one's bad.
Let's see what Wikipedia article he took. Alright, let's watch this shit.
On the 16th of December 1944, Hitler had unleashed Operation Wacht am Rhein, Watch on the Rhine, a huge attack through the snow-covered Ardennes forest on the German border with Belgium and Luxembourg.
Alright, pause for a second.
Right, you can pause yourself by clicking on the small pause button.
Oh, okay, oh yeah. But you pause it because you have your finger already on it.
Okay.
Wait, oh yeah, it's paused. Anyways.
Based SS Panther destroy 21 soy boy Shermans.
If he wanks off the Germans, like say, oh, the guys who were commanding the Panthers were tactical geniuses, veterans of 1,000 years war, I will take a shot. You don't have to take a shot, but if he wanks them off in any like weird way, I'm gonna.
Yeah, no, I'm because right now I'm passed on beer, so I can take more shots.
sector the American front line and came as a shock to the Allies, who thought that the Germans lacked the capabilities to launch any more offensives so late in the war. The aim of Hitler's offensive was to cross the Meuse River and capture the Allied supply port at Antwerp, cutting the American and British armies off from each other and from their supply base. But things didn't go quite as planned. American resistance was tougher than expected, causing hold-ups in the German timetable that allowed the Allies to begin rushing reinforcements into the area to contain and then crush the German bulge in their lines.
Bulge, 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 ooh, ooh, ooh.
Shut the fuck up.
Slowed, Hitler ordered another, smaller scale offensive further south, codenamed Operation Nordwind, or North Wind. The goal of this attack was to break through the lines of the US 7th Army and French 1st Army in the upper Vosges Mountains and the Alsatian Plain and destroy them, then recapture the city of Strasbourg by the end of January 1945.
Good luck taking that back.
Nordwind would also take some of the pressure off the Ardennes sector, forcing the Allies to redeploy troops away from the region. It was also planned that Nordwind would set the stage for Operation
Oh yeah.
Dentist.
Have you seen the video on you know the Isu guy, the guy that's laughing on TV and like, oh yeah, about the one about the Panther.
New Year's Eve 1944 by German Army Group G against a very
Hello?
thinly held
Still here?
8-mile-long sector, the US front lines, against the understrength units, the US 7th Army.
The fuck? What do you have Yoda?
And by the 15th of January, 17
Is that Yoda? No, that's
divisions were
a dinosaur.
engaged. Some of the battles were the toughest ever fought between US and German soldiers, and the Germans made some gains. In appalling weather conditions, the Germans and Americans
Indeed.
slaughtered out towns and villages. Some of the hardest fighting was at the town of Herlesheim. On the 16th of January 1945, US forces began trying to reduce the German bulge around the
Can I
town.
go back? I think I
The
saw
US
something.
12th Army
Oh, you can go back.
three
You can do it
task
yourself, you know.
forces, one of which was
Oh, wait,
to
hold on, hold on. I think I saw
hardest
something here.
fighting.
Wait, wait, go. Oh, yeah, no.
That's a 152. That's a Russian
Yeah,
152.
it's a Soviet artillery piece. Yeah. Huh. It's an ML-20.
Some of the hardest fighting was at the town of Herlesheim. On the 16th of January 1945, US forces began trying to reduce the German bulge around the town.
Bulge, bulge, bulge! Ooh.
Three task forces, one of which was based on the 43rd Tank Battalion. This task force, advancing on Herlesheim across open fields, was hit by fire from 8 dug-in German anti-tank guns and some assault guns. The attack faltered with heavy losses, and the other 2 task forces were also repulsed by German small arms and mortar fire. The next day, the 12th Armored Division tried again. The US 17th Armored Infantry Battalion got into Herlesheim, but was fought to a standstill by ever-growing numbers of Germans from the 553rd Volksgrenadier Division, numbering ultimately around 1,500 troops. By this stage, the 43rd Tank Battalion had 29 Sherman tanks remaining, and with engineers acting as improvised infantry, they attempted to support the advance of the 17th Armored Infantry Battalion, but in the heavy and confused combat failed to make contact. German Panzerfaust were very effective in picking off the American tanks. Heavy German reinforcements were also on the way.
Oh,
Morning of the 17th of January,
das ist ein Panzer.
Führer Tetsch and his Panther Battalion from the 10th SS Panzer Division Fronsberg set off from the nearby town of Offendorf for Herlesheim. But before reaching the town, US Shermans and anti-tank guns managed to knock out 4 Panthers and damage several more in foggy conditions. Tetcher's unit turned around and headed back to Offendorf. Battalion
Aced.
Adjutant SS Obersturmführer Bachmann took over 3rd Company, whose commander had been wounded in the fighting. Erwin Bachmann decided to reconnoiter the outskirts of Herlesheim. Bachmann rode into the town on a motorcycle sidecar combination. He and his driver drove forward until they reached a road junction, stopped and dismounted. Moving on foot, Bachmann went alone along the road on the right, covering about 50 meters to a bend. As he reached the bend, American machine gun fire opened up. Beating a hasty retreat, Bachmann ran back to where they had left the motorcycle and grabbed the Panzerfaust anti-tank launcher from the sidecar.
Yo.
One-man reconnaissance, he had seen several Sherman tanks.
Yo.
His driver to get back to German lines and bring up a platoon of
The Germans are so good.
2 Panthers under the command of SS Unterscharführer Mühlbracht would approach the edge of the town while Bachmann was on his one-man mission inside Herlesheim. Bachmann edged his way into the town, armed with his Panzerfaust. He had a good view over the main street.
Wow, the Germans are so brave and they take initiative. Unlike those stupid Americans and especially those brain-dead Russians.
Which burst into flames. Bachmann now withdrew and jogged back to where the 2 Panthers waited. They shut off their purring Maybach engines, and a quick order was assembled.
Oh, it burrs.
Mühlbracht and the other Panther commander. The Germans would charge into Herlesheim and shoot up the Shermans that they had encountered, the Panthers covering each other as they advanced. Panther 1 under Mühlbracht, with Bachmann running alongside, armed only with his pistol, drove up the road on the left, while Panther 2 drove up the road on the right to engage the Americans first and distract them. When Panther 1 arrived at the road junction, it immediately engaged the Sherman, knocking out first 1 tank and then several more behind. Panther 2 fired to cover him.
Wait.
After several hectic minutes
Okay,
of
no, never
fighting,
mind.
A white flag suddenly appeared. An American officer walked towards where Bachmann was stood beside Panther 1 and offered to surrender himself and his men. 6 Sherman tanks stood close by, apparently undamaged. Bachmann agreed and told him to assemble his men and to pile their weapons in the street.
The thing is that this is not worthy enough. It's not talking about death traps or anything. If y'all in the chat...
No, but that's the thing with Mark Felton. He keeps it like ambiguous enough, but he strokes.
Yeah.
He circle jerks like just enough, but keeps the actual details ambiguous. He does enough to like get lets the Wehraboots get their hard on for their Ubermensch soldiers, but not enough that people have like material or crap to throw against him. And that's like his formula for success.
Alright, so I got a real challenge. We could watch this scene, and every time something happens that is not good, we have to take a shot. Like something historically inaccurate. You know what scene I'm talking about, just by this. So, you down? Every time something inaccurate happens...
Dude, I'm pretty sure like every online armchair historian has memorized every single flaw. First, the tiger should have shot the front and the back instead of in the middle. Secondly, the tiger shouldn't have advanced, and like they conveniently forget that, you know, it was smoked. That's why it advanced. Although like you can make the argument that
it should have stopped.
Would probably be.
It should have stopped.
Yeah.
So, do you want to do it?
No.
What should we do?
It's overdone. Just keep watching the other one. No! Not this one.
Which one?
The one that we were watching before this. Like it's fun to try to make excuses for every stupid thing they say.
Oh, you mean the documentary?
Yeah.
I need to find it back. That's the thing. There you go.
A team of designers came up with
Wait, no. Where were we?
this new tank had a similar chassis and mechanic within a month. Quiet
Okay.
Michigan cornfield.
Oh my goodness, I look disgusting.
A team of designers came up with plans for a tank
What?
with a turret-mounted 75mm.
No, I'm just looking at myself in the webcam and I look fucking gross. I look like a fucking gammon.
Designing a new heavy turret capable of a 360-degree traverse. This new tank had a similar chassis and mechanical layout as the M3.
It literally has the same chassis and mechanical layout as
It had
an
1.5
M3.
inch thick steel armor plating.
Wait, oh wait. 2.5.
That's like 60 millimeters. That's accurate.
70.
Isn't it 56 to 60? That's accurate.
3-inch.
Oh.
3-inch. Wait. 2-inch. Okay.
No, because-
Yeah, no, it's the
Because the small hatch and the large hatch
Yeah.
had different armor.
Yeah. No, you're right. Yeah, you're right. All right.
It would weigh 33 tons when fully armed and equipped. Trials of the new tank at the Aberdeen Proving Ground in Maryland were a great success.
Great success!
The tank was maneuverable, reliable, and with a top speed of 26 miles per hour, fast.
Zoom.
I mean, okay, for medium tanks, Shermans were on a slow end.
This new
Were they? They were faster than Panzer IV in 3s. They were slower than.
but it
They
was
were,
most
they,
often
they were slower than T-34 and Panther. Wait, why am I not centered again?
In late 1942, the first Shermans went into service to the British Army as well as the American.
Yo, I got a subscribers that actually sent a better one. A better video.
Oh yeah?
Don't know if we reacted to it last time, but I know this video is actually trash. Hot steaming garbage.
The Allies possessed went head-to-head with the most destructive tank ever built, Germany's Panzerkampfwagen 6, the Tiger.
Okay, so off to a good start.
The Allies possessed went head-to-head with the most destructive tank ever built, Germany's Panzerkampfwagen 6, the Tiger.
That's a shot.
Boy, this is the exact same one we reacted last time.
Yuricon?
What?
I don't remember.
We did. It was like near the end.
Was it? I honestly can't remember shit. So do you want to continue or?
Let's just continue. Oh, wait. Also, there's something wrong with our camera feeds on the.
Oh yeah. Fuck. Wait. There you go. It should be better. So should we take a shot?
No, I did not hear what they said.
The Allies possessed went head-to-head with the most destructive tank ever built, Germany's Panzerkampfwagen 6, the Tiger.
Yeah, but we watched this already. Can we go back? Can we watch?
Oh
something?
my
We haven't.
God. Fine. We'll end on a video, I swear.
We haven't got to, or skip to the part where they're talking about like the actual combat experience. I think that's where it gets spicy. Oh, fuck off!
The production.
You know, it's just sight was all through. Was much better than ours.
A huge tank. In Maryland were a great success. The tank was maneuverable, reliable.
I stood up with my headphones still in.
Huh?
Fast.
Repeat that?
I stood up when my headphones were still in. That's why I went like.
In October 1941, this new tank went into production. Officially, it was known as the M4, but it would most often be called the Sherman.
Well, didn't the Americans just call it the M4?
The first Shermans went into service to the British Army as well as the American.
I just loved it. The Sherman tank was a 33-ton monster.
The first sight of a Sherman. There it was. A huge tank. There's a lot of room in it. A veritable Rolls Royce, really, compared with what we've been used to.
Very
Jesus Christ, that guy slammed it.
the way they were all made to drive onto one common shaft. Most of the American equipment was much better than ours. They seem to have the industrial muscle to produce these things.
I thought he was going to be able to do the job very well against the enemy.
It did.
Each Sherman was operated by a crew of 5.
I mean,
The driver sat in the left bow.
As a driver,
You mean what?
the Sherman, you've got an enormous gearbox on the right. It's got the same pedals as most vehicles. It's got an accelerator, got a clutch, hasn't got a brake. Instead of the steering, you've got 2 sticks, like joysticks. And by pulling on the right, the tank will then veer to the right. Pulling on the left, it will go to the left. If you pull both together, it stops.
Of course, often you had to drive with your periscope when you were buttoned up. And that wasn't easy, but of course you learned how to do that.
When not in combat, the driver and co-driver could also drive by looking out from above the hatch. The rest of the crew worked from the turret.
Well, there were 3 people in the turret, and I would think it was about a diameter of 5 foot. We were very close to each other, put it that way. And the only thing between the loader and the gunner was the breech of the gun.
The gunner didn't have a lot of room because he'd got the gun by the other side, and his sight was all through periscope.
The tank commander says where to go, what to do. I always prefer to have my head out. I couldn't bear looking through these tiny little periscopes.
In addition to the main 75mm gun, the Sherman had a .30 caliber machine gun at the front and a .50 caliber anti-aircraft gun on the turret.
Bro, that's a cool sight.
Shells for the main gun could be either armor-piercing, known as AP, or high-explosive, HE.
For getting smoke. Yeah, you still here?
no.
Okay.
No, I am still here. Fuck.
Yeah, but you're not talking.
If the commander saw a target, he'd swing me around. I'd traverse onto a target he gave me, you see. He'd say, traverse right and give me the target if it was visible.
We could traverse 360 degrees if there wasn't anybody in the way. And our traverse was beautiful. It was faster than hell.
He'd say action AP or action HE. So the loader would either load an armor-piercing shell or a high-explosive shell. And then when I got the target, I had to adjust the range. And then you fired and you hoped you hit the target.
The Sherman was well suited to fast-moving, offensive armored warfare, but now it had to prove itself in the test of battle. The Sherman tank became home for its crew, who had to work and live close together, often for days at a time.
We had great camaraderie between members of the crew. Learned to rely on each other. And that gave us this wonderful esprit de corps.
You slept together, you ate together, you fought together, you know, it's just a unit, and you heard all one another's problems from home, you know. If a letter came and there was something wrong, they usually used to tell you their problems.
And you're trying to learn the other person's job, too, because sometimes if something happened, the vehicle was broken down, or somebody got injured, wounded, killed, you may have to take over the other person's job.
And each evening the crew would dig in to camp down for the night.
If you were lucky, you could dig a hole and run the tank over and sleep underneath it. And you had a sort of communal bed. You didn't take your clothes off, took your boots off. And you all five got in together.
In time, each crew built up an almost intimate relationship with their tank.
We named our tanks after our favorite girlfriends. It's something you
Favorite girlfriends?
love.
Holy shit.
Yay!
Yeah, I got multiple girlfriends.
1943, the Detroit Arsenal was in full production. 10,000 workers worked in 3 shifts, 24 hours a day, 6 days a week. Each tank required 4,537 separate parts.
Oi, drunk man, the audio's a tad low.
Factories and hundreds of subcontractors.
Wait, what?
Look in the comments on the chat.
Yeah, what? What's up?
Look in the comments. So, do you see the audio's a bit low?
Which audio? The our audio or the video? The doc, okay.
The video audio.
Okay.
The Detroit Arsenal was in full production.
Is this
10,000
better?
workers worked in 3 shifts, 24 hours a day, 6 days a week. Each tank required 4,537 separate parts. In
Alright.
total, 11 different factories and hundreds of subcontractors.
I'm just gonna
helped
drink that beer at
manufacture
this
the
point.
Sherman tank. By the end of the war, 48,000 Shermans had rolled off the production line.
49,
Double the
but
number of all
that's a
the
pass.
German tanks produced in the war. The Sherman would become the universal Allied tank of World War II.
Am I the only one who absolutely hates the look of the Sherman with side skirts? Yeah, we were
Yes.
supposed Gerald, we're supposed to be 4 guys, but 2 had to do something else instead.
But the Shermans had a fatal flaw. The
Oh,
gun did not have the power of the German panzers, and the Shermans
Oh,
had
shut
less
up.
armor than their German rivals.
Oh, shut up about that. Norman, please. Okay, I think I can. Norman, you can explain this, right?
the gun, the thing about the gun.
Both the gun and the armor. The gun was more than capable. It had a good
The gun,
infantry capability.
yeah, the
It
gun.
could penetrate.
It could easily penetrate pretty much every enemy tank it would encounter.
Panzer IV,
Oh, yeah.
Panzer III.
No problem.
Panther, if you aim for the turret.
Yeah, well, I mean, for a Panther, I wouldn't rely on the 75. It's not a reliable choice. But the thing is that, yeah, it can. You can also just batter a Tiger into submission, which arguably was done. The thing is that the 75 was still in use at the end of the war for a reason. It worked. It still did. So yeah, no, you have to take a shot for this.
No.
Yes, yes you do.
No. Okay. No, we have to make. We're making the whole point is that we make up stupid excuses. The stupid excuse in this case is that they didn't specify which German tank.
Oh,
they're
shut the
mentioning.
fuck up.
No,
Take
no,
the
they did not
shot.
specify. They could be talking about the mouse. They could be talking about the King Tiger. The whole point of this is that we don't get drunk so your dad doesn't get mad and ban you from doing streams with strangers.
You sound so mad. You have to take. Even the chat says it. You have to take the shot. Take the bloody shot.
Okay, listen. If I take a shot, I'll only take the shot if you subscribe to my channel. Mr. Overpipe Canine.
K9. Yeah, Overpipe K9. Subscribe to his channel so he has to take a shot.
Yeah.
Send me a screenshot on Discord.
Yep.
Send me a screenshot on Discord.
Alright, so while he does that, continue.
Oh, he's actually doing.
Okay, send me the fucking screenshot and I'll do it.
Well, send it to me at this point. Wait, my camera just fucked up again. Oh, god damn it. My camera just fucked up. God damn it. Uh-oh.
Did he send it?
Give me a second. No, he hasn't sent it me yet. Right now I'm having troubles with the camera. Documents, utility, desktop. I'm doing such a weird face right now. Hey, I'm back. Great. So, K9, are you sending it to me?
He says he can't. Someone says they can't find it. I'm not sure what's King. I'll just send them the link.
What is the origin of your name?
Object 147.
The fuck is an Object 147?
It's the last. If you write into Plat and lead speak, like what's like numbers where you can replace the letters, the LAT goes to 147.
Huh. Alright, so... Alright, it's in main chat of the server. Oh, he's subscribed. He's subbed.
I'm like, wait, why did stuff about fucking like US politics come up when you Googled my name?
Alright, you gotta take a shot.
Alright, I will.
I felt like you felt this one pass. You should look at your face. Alright, so let's continue.
Small arms fire made virtually no impact on the Sherman's armor.
Yeah.
No fucking shit.
And the crew were well protected from general battlefield fire.
Yeah?
But a hit from a German high-velocity gun could easily penetrate the Sherman's thin armor.
Stop then. Just because you get penetrated by an anti-tank gun doesn't mean it's thin. It's like saying that just because you get
You get what?
shot. That's like saying that humans are poorly evolved because when they get shot, they die.
That's a shot, come on.
No, it's not. It's not. It's not.
Because it's factually wrong. The Sherman did not have thin armor. It is wrong. Right.
Thin armor compared to the heaviest
They
tank.
they just said thin armor.
Oi, what's his name? Caramew? Do you wanna have a fucking duel? Me and a tiger, you and a Sherman. See who wins.
I know, bro. Take the shot. Come on, we gotta have fun.
No, like we said at the start, we make stupid excuses to get around it. Oh, so you think your stupid little Sherman with thin armor can beat my tiger with 10 centimeters armor that's...
Canine has a good point. Give me a second. I'm just going to turn that over. They specified it is an overall that attempts to deny the Sherman capability of bouncing the many shells it did. The excuses are made. It was never promised that they would work.
I don't want to take a shot. Come on.
Ah.
We've let them pass for more.
Come on. Nah. Come on, man. Have a good one.
Okay. Okay then. I'll take a shot if Overpipe Canine.
Rings the bell.
I'll take a shot if he writes the name of his favorite anime character.
Canine, right? Canine, do it. Do an asshole. Did you fucking dick?
And it has to be. It has to be someone you'd be willing to marry.
Oh, so it needs to be his waifu.
Yes, and it has to be a male.
He literally has anime stuff on his fucking bed. He likes anime. He likes the anime.
No shit.
You like the anime, do you? A waifu femboy? Come on.
Alright, K9, who's your husband? Come on, write it down and I'll take a shot.
This is becoming interesting.
I'll take 2 shots if you post a link to a picture of that boy in a suggestive pose. You know what I mean?
No. Whoa.
No, that's why I said 2 shots. I don't want to take a shot, but if he does something extreme, I will. Okay. All right, because Gerald spelled 2 wrong. I'm not gonna. That 2 shot is out.
Oh, fuck you! You're such a bitch.
Yeah, just to pick up, or you don't even have to like send me a picture. Just tell me his name.
Yeah.
And I'll take 1 shot. I'm not taking 2 shots because of Gerald. You can blame him.
Come on, K9. Is he taking a shot or not? Who's your waifu?
Male waifu. Armstrong from Full Metal Alchemist.
Who the fuck? I don't even watch anime.
Oh my god. Like, he's not being serious.
Take the shot. Take the shot.
Okay, so are you like actually that far high in the Kinsey scale? Because if you are, like, genuinely fucking based.
What's Kinsey?
It's the gay scale.
Wait, there's a gay scale?
Yes. And people are saying, no, it's two-dimensional. Well, guess what? Now, you just inspired someone out there to make a 4-dimension. Wait.
4-dimension?
No,
That's
no.
thing?
It's 1-dimensional, but you encourage someone to make it a 2-dimensional.
What? He's taking the shot!
There, I did it. Wait, was that on camera when I did it? Did it catch me on camera? Yes, it did. Yes, it did. Ah.
The crew had only seconds to get out before the fuel or the ammunition went up.
Yeah, like any
You
tank.
got hit. You were really in great shape to just go up like a match.
Oh, they're escaping!
You had to get out of there quick as possible.
The memory of a Sherman going up still haunts many tankmen.
The sight of black smoke, I mean really black smoke, with rounds bursting off inside, is a terrifying sight.
It would burn very quickly for a very short while. As that died down, the heat generated from it would then start exploding the ammunition stored within it. If you got a turret hit, a shell could come in and ricochet around inside, which and the people within it had nowhere to go.
But technically, it's a shrapnel that ricochets, not the shell itself.
That's a shot.
There was
No, it's not. Yes.
all the way right to the inside of this turret. And we didn't look any farther. We thought, oh my, what have we got into?
I was only 22 years old. It was quite exciting and glamorous.
Sherman was a capitalist conspiracy by the big automobile manufacturers to sell more to the government. That's essentially the plot of the what
The tank's three main
I think
characteristics.
I forgot the name of the book,
mobility,
but there was a book that said
firepower,
that.
and protection.
That essentially was
Some
like
tanks, the
concluding
famous
that.
German Tiger emphasized firepower and protection. In contrast, the Sherman went for mobility. It was very mobile.
Okay,
and it
okay,
was very
okay.
good
Pause.
cross
We need to
country.
unpack this.
Alright.
Okay, so the Tiger prioritized firepower and protection.
And the Sherman was mobility.
That did not age. That did not age well. Like, but I mean, like the Tiger had like 10 centimeters armor that's flatter than your mom's tits. Oh, you stole that joke from fucking what's his name? That War Thunder YouTuber. Yes, I know I stole that joke. Okay?
I don't even know where that joke comes from. But
I think it comes from a War Thunder YouTuber that does those text-to-speech tank tutorials.
oh, is it Space Cat?
No.
Yeah, good point. Like, oh yeah, they're saying the Sherman is a death trap, but they're alive to tell the tale. That's the thing.
That's a point that what's his name? Nicholas Moran made in his Sherman.
Yeah, in the is it the one he did at during Tank Fest? You know the
Belton Cooper.
wait, what?
To
Repeat.
talk to Belton Cooper, he said out of all the tankers you talked to, how many of those tankers were dead?
So yeah, also the funny thing is technically the Germans have a 100% tank loss because they lost the war. So technically the Germans have the death traps. All right, so
When the Panther transmission only lasts 151 kilometers, but the Soviets are 50 kilometers away from the factory.
yeah.
No, it wasn't the myth. Wait, was it the myths of American armor? Hold on, I'm gonna double check that.
It's not important. The important fact is that like they're still there to tell the tale. If like
No, it's not. Hold on. It wasn't Myth of American Armor. That's the one that he did at Tank Fest. The one that was actually titled U.S. Development in World War II, or Why the Sherman Was What It Was.
Well, that's the the why the Sherman was what it was. It was not during Tank Fest though. It was another conference.
Yeah, I know. I literally
Okay.
said.
Okay.
it was
Okay. Okay. Okay.
it's not
Okay.
the one.
I misunderstood you. Anyway, let's continue the video.
British and American planners working on the invasion of Europe realized the need for armor to precede the infantry ashore and to clear the many waiting obstacles. A series of what became known as Hobart's funnies, after the British general who designed them, were produced.
Why are we talking about Albert's funnies? Like, I know they're a good part of the Sherman history, but I feel like they're pointless in what the documentary is trying to say.
Sherman assault. The name of the okay. Wait. Pause. It won't let me pause. The thing won't let me pause unless you pause. Okay. No. It's the name of the documentary is Sherman Assault. They were a key part of Sherman's assaulting Europe.
Oh, come on. Shut fuck re.
When they hit the beach, they threw off the canvas floats. Flail tanks
Oh,
through the minefields.
this Sherman is just Chad.
Bulldozer tanks to clear the path forwards. Most of these tank adaptations proved successful. Others were less reliable.
Oof.
Wait a minute. It says that the DD was, I think, on a whole, the extended exhausts that allowed the Sherman to kind of like wade.
Yeah, well, the waiting kit, the waiting kit.
Yeah, was probably more successful in aggregate than the DDs.
They were more successful.
Yeah.
They were because I feel like most DD Shermans actually sunk.
Yeah, or like yeah, they would deploy too far off. But like yeah.
All right.
Waiting kit, it let them like deploy further than expected and still did the job.
Dawn, 6th of June 1944. D-Day, the invasion of Europe. The swimming tanks were the first to hit the beaches at HR minus 5 minutes to clear the defenses for the infantry. But the seas were rough, and on Omaha Beach, many of the tanks went to the bottom.
Oof.
On the British and Canadian beaches, Hobart's funnies fared much better and made a decisive contribution to the victory that followed. The Allies had breached Hitler's supposedly impregnable Atlantic Wall. In the days that followed, huge numbers of tanks and men were brought ashore. But once the Germans had properly recovered, a fierce battle ensued known as the Battle of the Hedgerows, after the characteristic feature of the Normandy countryside. Deep, sunken roads, high hedgerows, dense woods and orchards, all proved a problem to the tanks and were ideal for defenders to hide behind.
Surprisingly, our intelligence, I don't know why, they did not brief us at all about the hedgerows. We had to learn the hard way.
They thought it was obvious.
You know, looking at a hedgerow maybe 2 or 3 feet high. These were some like 8, 10, 12 feet high.
12 feet for a hedgerow? Holy shit.
One never knew what you were going to find round behind the next hedgerow or the next corner.
Hedgerows were implemented when Quebec colonized mainland Europe.
Yeah, we might have messed up here.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, to be fair, France is one of the most successful European countries, so you Quebecians did a good job laying the foundations for a massive empire.
So Quebec created the Empire of France.
Yeah, France is actually a colony of Quebec. Anyways, this is one that I actually painted. Um, I painted it into the colors of the one from Walking with Dinosaurs. Like the one from Walking with Dinosaurs is like a really thick boy that does not look like an actual ankylosaur. But this one, I
What?
imitated the colors onto a more accurate model.
Why are you talking to me about dinosaurs?
No, because it's a model that I repainted. Like the Schlag model initially was like all green with like
Yeah.
beige on the spikes, but this one I just painted it black with beige plates like the Walking with
I'll be
Dinosaurs
right back.
doing. This, for some reason, is my favorite model because you rarely find SU-85s in kits. Like, you rarely find SU-85s in, like, a model kit. Usually people go for its bigger brother, the SU-100. I was surprised to find this, and this one is in 156 scale, so you can use it for wargaming because, 156 is the most common. I never use it because, the SU-85, it's like, in wargaming, like if you have a T-34-85, just take that instead. They've got the same gun, and it's not like Company of Heroes where like, essentially, I think what they did in Company of Heroes was assume that the T-34, the battle tanks would carry a mix of HE and HE AP, whilst the tank destroyers will only carry AP, which is why the T-34-85 is weaker against armor than the Su-85, while the Su-85 can't do anything against infantry. Yeah,
All right. So
I really like this one.
I got a Sherman. This is Narvik 2, the French M4A3 with stowage that I made myself, and canvas which is made with a Kleenex.
Wait, what? How did you make it stick?
Basically, you cut out the size of your tarp. You water down some PVA glue. You take a brush, and you just stipple it onto the Kleenex, and the Kleenex will get soaked with the water with the PVA glue in it. Will form up like a tarp with with the nice
it's basically
texture.
paper mache.
Yeah, basically, but it works wonderfully. And the
This is
clean.
my IS too with tank riders.
I kind of want to. I really want an ice too. Also, I have this USMC M4A2
with makeshift track side skirts.
Yeah, and spikes on top. I really like that. Honestly, like the weathering on it is spot on.
It's called Nomad.
Yeah.
That's your name.
Hello, my name is Nomad.
Do you live on a horse in the fields and sleep in a yurt?
I don't know. I don't sleep with a horse, but I have a massive horse cock. Anyway, we were watching videos.
Okay, that was unexpected. Meow.
Honestly, like building a USMC Sherman is just so much different than anything else. You can just build whatever the fuck you want, honestly. Single tone camo, two-tone, three-tone, even four-tone camo. I decided to go for two.
Like someone asked me how much did the SU-85 kit cost? Not much, surprisingly. It was like around. Hold on, let me just double check the price. It was around 30 New Zealand dollars. It's 156, so it's like obviously a lot smaller than 148 or 170. Well, 170, 135. But it's by Rubicon. They actually make really good tank kits at that scale, and because it's 156, it's like compatible with a lot of like wargaming rules.
Yeah, the thing is that honestly I only build 135th. Just because
I have some 135. That used to be my like primary, but like again, like I don't have much space, so
Yeah.
156. Kill two birds with one stone.
I'd go 148 just for the Tamiya kits.
Oh yeah, the Tamiya 148 kits are like really good.
They're
But, like,
insane.
Yeah.
They're very, very good.
Yeah, I only ever had the Cromwell. It had a metal chassis, which I found
Yeah.
really interesting.
I built
And,
I built the Hetzer for as a commission for someone. It's just the chassis is made of metal for weight.
Play the video. Play the video.
All right. Name ideas for your Sherman, USMC Sherman. All right, so we need for Emil we need to find name ideas for his Sherman because he built a USMC Sherman, and now he needs names for it. I don't know. Emily.
Name it after your anime waifu, but it has to be a male.
You can call it Emily, perhaps. I don't know.
Boring. Emil after that Halo character.
Island Upper.
The Island Hopper sounds too generic.
Yeah. I know one of my friends wants to build one and call it Pineapple with a grenade beside it. You know, with a drawing of a grenade. And call it Pineapple. So that's already taken.
Pineapple.
So that's already taken.
Tiny.
So don't take it, please. It's like he actually wants to build it.
Make it. How about Vayavada Padruga? Vaya Padruga. Yeah. That's one.
Wendigo. You can call it Wendigo.
Skinwalker.
Rice cooker. No.
So racist.
No, rice cooker is extremely racist. Like stupidly racist. Don't do that, please.
Dude, I don't care. So okay, speaking of
Wendigo is a good name though.
yeah, I know. Yeah, it's like a U.S. continental local
Folklore,
legend. Yeah.
Folklore. Yeah, I think you should go with Wendigo.
Yeah. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, in the Wikipedia page about ethnic slurs, there's apparently one for white woman called Anne, and the description is essentially a Karen, but Karen is not listed as a ethnic slur.
Alright, let's continue. We have a big tangent. Let's continue
The Germans were throwing men and supplies into the battle.
Asiatic hordes! Oh, fun fact. Pause for a moment. You probably heard of this, but there's the story of this Korean guy who was captured on the Eastern Front.
Oh yeah,
He
and
got put into the Oster legend, and he was captured by the Americans while serving in the German army during D-Day.
yeah, no, he was wasn't there a Japanese guy that was captured by the Russians during the Sino-Russian War? He then was sent into combat during Operation Barbarossa, was captured by the Germans and sent on Omaha Beach.
Yeah. That's apparently like quite common. The fact that the Korean guy is like special because like everybody thought he was like Chinese or Japanese. It's like that but didn't understand his Korean. So it's like that what do you call it? That scene from King of the Hill. Where like, are you Chinese or are you Japanese? Like, no, I'm a Laotian.
Two tough elite SS Panzer divisions were sent from the Russian front to confront the Allies around Caen.
What tank was that?
I think it's a Lorraine.
Next intro or the next corner.
What tank was that?
I think it was a Lorraine.
The Germans were throwing men and supplies into
That's a Lorraine.
What tank is that?
That
What tank
look.
is that? What tank is that? Nah, I'm just messing with you.
The Germans
Yeah.
were throwing men and
No, I think that was a comet.
So it's
No,
the
no,
same
it's
alcohol talking.
that's not a comet. Oh, you're already drunk?
Dude, you made me. You're like using me as a fucking alcohol guinea pig.
sent from the Russians to confront the Allies around Caen. By the end of June, about 1 million men faced each other across the battle lines in Normandy. The British and Canadians kept up the pressure around the city of Caen. But the result was stalemate.
Whoa, tracers.
Was the 88mm German anti-aircraft and anti-tank gun.
Hey Norman, do you want to comment on that?
What?
If they
If
Do you want to comment on that? Or what?
it explicitly mentioned the anti-aircraft guns. So it's obviously talking about the Flak 30.
Well, I mean, the 88 was an anti-aircraft gun and an anti-tank gun.
Yes, but the actual like, cause like the most powerful 88 obviously is the KWK
36.
Pack 43. Pack 43.
Is it Pack 43? I mean, they're all the same gun, really. They're the same shells.
I'm not. I think I heard somewhere that the shells are cross-compatible, but the KWK-43 on the Tiger II and the Yak Panther was a lot more powerful.
Oh, okay, yeah, no, I thought you,
36.
I thought you were talking about the normal 88. Okay, no, you're right. Yeah, the Pack 43 is much more powerful.
Yeah. So like, but this basically you explicitly mentioned anti-tank and anti. Oh wait, hey.
Both of them are anti-air and anti-tank, though. Both of them were original.
No. Pack 43 is not anti-air.
The Tiger II gun was first anti-air.
No, it wasn't. It's adapted from the Pack 40. It was a tank adaptation of the Pack 43. Also, our webcams froze again.
Yeah. Okay, great. That should work. Pack 43. It was in competition with the Rheinmetall 8.8 Flak 41 anti-aircraft gun. The KWK 43.
This stream lasted longer than Panther's final drive. Holy shit, it's like 1 hour 30 minutes. Boy, we should speed this up. I need to get some sleep, man.
Yeah.
German 88 at, say, 500 to 1,000 yards could zero in on a Sherman tank. Even at that range, he could penetrate it without any difficulty.
Yeah, they were powerful guns. Nobody's doubting that.
Superior. The long barrel 75 and the 88 was vastly superior to anything we had. No doubt at all about that.
Yes. No.
17 pounder.
17 pounder is 76. And 90 mil. The fucking American 90 mil.
Okay, even if we don't count the 90 mil, like this fucking
17
pounder.
That thing was more powerful than the Panther's gun.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Alright, continue.
Nah, you have to. This one is a shot. Come on.
Okay. More powerful than any common gun mounted on a tank. Firefly was not very common.
It wasn't very common. It was a third of every Sherman. A third of every Sherman was a Firefly. It's so common. It literally was everywhere. Shut the fuck up and take it. Take the fucking shot. Shut the fuck up and take the shot. Shut the fuck. 1 out of 3 is a minority, but it still was common.
1 out of 3 is a minority, and it was also a more of a tank destroyer than a tank.
Nah, it was a tank. It was a tank. It was not in the tank destroyer branch. It was not in the artillery like the Americans did.
Okay, not you're like a bit. But it was just
No, that's a shot.
tank destroyer.
That's a shot. That's a shot. That's a shot.
Ah, you're raped. Fine. Oh.
Oh my god, straight from the bottle. Holy shit. Top down. Well, I mean, you can argue that the 17 pounder was the more powerful of both. Was it better though?
Okay, I don't think the 17 pounder matched the KWK 43, but it was definitely
no.
better than the 42.
Yeah, it's slightly better than the 42. If you don't count APDS. Because if you count APDS, it's actually better than the 43.
Yeah, but the APDS on the
yeah, you cannot aim. You cannot hit a barn at 500.
Norman? What's your opinion about the 77 on the Comet?
Version. Well, what they did is basically take the pointy bit of a 17 pounder and put it on the 3-inch shell. It still was a 17 pounder technically, but they called it 77 to make a distinction.
To avoid confusion.
Yeah. It was an amazing gun. The Comet is virtually the best tank the British built. Probably even better in the anti-tank department. It was better than the Sherman. It was a fast and well-armored tank. The 77 was a good gun. It mostly fixed the issues with the APDS. It still had some issues, but it mostly fixed it, and the APDS was actually usable. So yeah, the 77 was a great gun.
Tiger can still kill it, so it's bad.
God damn it! I mean, the 17 pounder is
Come on, we have like 22 minutes left. Come on, let's through this.
The 17 pounder was the better gun, but the thing is that it was so cramped inside of the turret that it's basically unusable. So I'd take a 76 instead. And the 76 did really good enough.
Field Marshal Bernard Law Montgomery was the commander of land forces in Normandy.
It's hard to be clear.
Wasn't it Eisenhower was Supreme Commander?
Because after the war,
Eisenhower was the Supreme Commander. I don't know about the ground forces part.
It's clear that it didn't. But he certainly did have a general concept of operations, and that was to use the British around the Norman city of Caen to attract German armor. And this would give the Americans the opportunity to break out on the other side of Normandy in the west. There were going to be several battles to establish the conditions for the breakout for the war. Battles to wear down the Germans and to pin down their armor.
Hundreds of British Sherman tanks assembled across the Orne River for Monty's big assault on July the 18th, codenamed Goodwood.
Oh, Operation Goodwood! Operation Goodwood!
With a massive air bombardment
They're just gonna like wank about the failure.
Yeah.
It was one of the biggest ground support air raids of the war.
The first thing that happened was this enormous air armada came over.
You don't sound British, sir. You don't sound British.
Hundreds
I'm British.
British.
See clearly all the markings. We see the crews in them, and this tremendous carpet bombing. One thought absolutely invincible.
One of the lads remarked, well, I'd sooner be this side than on there where they...
That guy's British.
We can't lose. There'll be nothing left. We should probably be in Germany in 2 days. This is what we were told. We'll probably be on the way to Germany in a matter of weeks.
The The aerial bombardment stunned the German defenders. 60-ton Tiger tanks had been thrown into the air like matchboxes.
That's a Panzer IV. Also, the Tiger was 52 tons.
At 8:30 a.m., the British Shermans began to roll forward through the dust and the smoke. For a few miles, they advanced almost without interruption.
There was nothing, no resistance. There were some Germans knocking around, but they were shell-shocked very much. A lot of them were wounded.
Don't you talk shit about my boy CO. Okay?
Push morphine in and that sort of thing. And just carried on in fine feather. Marvellous. Just got to sail on forever.
After a few hours, the British were in open country. But as the Germans began to recover, the British tanks became easy targets.
Got into some open ground, which we had to move across it very fast.
It's not lewd, it's not a body pillow, it's just a regular pillow for an appreciation of a character that I admire.
Panzers, with heavier armor and bigger guns.
Are you arguing about M&A?
No, I'm just saying that this is not a fucking body pillow. Yeah, but it's not a fucking body pillow! Shit, and it's not lewd!
Just erupted into a mass of flames. And I can remember one of the crew up on the top of the turret, covered in flames, and he either jumped off or he fell off.
Through the periscope, you could see vehicles dropping out. The one that was beside you would suddenly slow up and disappear. And our losses were quite considerable.
Well, it was obvious that things weren't going as well as could be expected.
It seemed that plumes of smoke were going up from the wide horizon, the wide view that you had. Everywhere you looked, something was burning.
Well, we'd advanced about 5-6 miles, and we finished up in this meadow.
James Donovan and his crew were ordered to wait for backup tanks to arrive on their left.
We sat there, we'd been there at least 2 hours, saying, well, I wonder where they got to. We didn't know what was happening, but it was all quiet, so we had no great worries. I was looking through the periscope, and I saw 2 tanks moving up about 100 yards in front of us. You could just see the tops of the tanks as they moved behind the hedge. One of the crew commanders of the tank was combing his hair. Nice blonde hair he had as well. I could see the colour of his hair, and it was only when he leant forward and put his field hat on that I realised it was Germans. They must have seen us at the same moment. Within seconds, the first one of the 2 German tanks crashed through the hedge.
Driver, reverse! Gunner, traverse right!
And our gunner was right on him as we were reversing.
We didn't penetrate their armor!
Fire!
That one bounced!
And as our gunner fired, I watched the tracer come off the front of the tank and shoot up into the sky, and I thought, oh good God, what chance have we got with that? His turret came round and lined up with us, and bang, that was it.
And you're alive.
There was a lot of noise, but it's hard to say what the noise actually was now. Then the order came over the intercom, bail out.
Crew, bail out!
So the intercom was still working.
Bail out!
They've been hit and the intercom is still working.
Bail out! Bail out!
The 2 of us in the front went through the escape hatch in the floor. the others came out through the turret. And the crew commander, he said, right, let's run and get away to get a bit of cover. We had to run to get to the cornfield and dive in the corn until we could sort ourselves out.
So wait, did everybody bail out?
More squadrons of British Shermans were almost ready.
I think everybody managed to bail out unscathed.
It's a quality of the Sherman. It considers ergonomics, and ergonomics are all you need to win wars.
Pretty much, honestly.
Found out from the turret
It's
and
legit ergonomics are more important than armor
there were no
at this
drops.
point.
Yeah.
If you can use your tank properly,
You didn't believe
you're
it.
good.
I mean, normally you got out and or in the morning you looked out on the same view would give you something like 50, 55.
But with the arrival of 2 more British tank divisions, sheer force of numbers enabled the Shermans slowly to win many of their objectives.
Asiatic hordes again!
The trickle of German prisoners captured became a flood. These shattered men were from some of the finest units of the German army.
The finest unit, the guy's like 17.
A victory of sorts had been won, but it was still far from the hoped-for breakout.
This wouldn't have happened if they had good T-34s made by the sweat of the proletariat. Their sloping armor
The last
and
week of
shit.
July 1944, the American First Army had the men and the materials ready, and were positioned to break out. On the 25th of July, a new American offensive was launched, Operation Cobra.
Shermans are cute tanks. They're not intimidating at all. If I saw a Sherman, I'd want to hug it.
Get ready to go. We were going to move forward.
Have you ever hugged a Sherman?
The things that had started.
I actually have, thank you very much.
I actually have too. I have hugged a Sherman.
Large numbers of American troops attacked greatly weakened German forces. The infantry of 7th Corps led the offensive. Later that day, the Shermans were ordered into action. The Germans held on for a couple of days, but were no match for the overwhelming numbers of Americans. Dazed by the speed of the advance, the
Americanic
defenders began to
hordes.
surrender in ever greater numbers. Reusing old beach obstacles and welding them onto the front of the Shermans, the tanks now had a new weapon.
We went down to
You're gonna melee them! Melee the tigers!
Pull the knife out!
To make those fork things that went on the front of a tank to dig into a hedgerow and help tear it apart. A tank could hit the hedgerow and with some speed.
God, the Sherman's hot.
And he would just burst through the thing, carrying the trees and shrubs and everything with him. I saw him used, and they were very effective.
The Americans at last broke out into good open countryside, where the Shermans could be used to real advantage.
It's a great feeling to get rid of those hedgerows and get out in the open again, where you can maneuver, especially with tanks. And you really see that wide open space.
The momentum of the advance began to build. This thing has busted wide open, exclaimed one American commander. At the end of July, General Patton was appointed commander of the new U.S. Third Army. His mission, to lead the breakout in the West.
He imbued his troops, as mean as he seems to have been to them, with a sense of we can.
George S. Patton, known as Old Blood and Guts, had a ferocious reputation for taking the offensive.
Okay, I'm sorry, but Patton is essentially the Rommel of the U.S. Army.
Well, he was actually competent.
Was he competent, or was he better supported than Rommel?
I mean, it kind of broke out into bestowing.
Patton's men were racing into Brittany.
He actually managed to break out from the bulge.
That the enemy is just as
You mean break into the bulge, because he actually broke in. He didn't break.
Yeah, well, you got what I mean.
You realize that once you've got the enemy on balance,
You could attribute such tactical achievements to Rommel as well.
I mean, Rommel got lucky in France. Got extremely lucky. And he tried the same strategy in North Africa and it failed utterly.
San Malo, Rennes,
I don't know.
and then turning east towards Le Mans and Paris.
We kept capturing a lot of towns at the breakout. And
You
I can't remember all
quiero
the towns we
shingon con el furan.
Patton's Third Army was forced to effect no opposition. The columns of Sherman tanks advancing several miles each day.
Well, his strategy was always to burst through the enemy, just go hell-bent for victory. Just get behind him and raise all kinds of ruckus in the back country.
For the Americans and the British, the crowds began to come out to welcome the conquering heroes.
Yeah, the Americans were just KKK colonizers.
these towns were gorgeous. You know, they threw flowers, they gave us cognac, if they had any. Of course, we took it all we could get.
Sometimes you couldn't move. The roads were jammed with people. So overwhelmed with joy that at last they were liberated.
And we had a couple girls came up and kissed us and put flowers around our neck, you know, really welcomed us as real heroes, which I think we were to them.
Did he just call himself a hero?
At last, all was going well for the Allies. But the Germans had one last trick to play.
Operation Watch on the Rhine.
The German commander, Field Marshal Gunther von Kluge, reported it's a madhouse here. Someone has to tell the Fuhrer that if the Americans get through, they will be out of the woods. Hitler intervened directly to order 4 armored columns to move from Caen for a counterattack.
Oh, that works.
Intended to divide the Allied army in two.
Didn't they just say they pushed to
It was
Paris?
launched on the night of the 6th of August. A fierce battle ensued. But the American line held until reinforcements arrived.
Eisenhower, daddy.
Now perilously overextended.
Eisenhower is my waifu.
Patton to wheel east and advance towards the Loire and Seine rivers, around the rear of the German army.
Are you eating a fucking burger? You're eating a fucking burger, holy shit.
Eisenhower then ordered Montgomery
I told you, like I'm investing the American spirit, Daniel.
Why the fuck are you eating a burger now?
The The entire German
America!
had only one road as a means of escape, eastwards out of the.
Aren't you Korean?
The
Right?
Germans could only move by night to avoid
We
constant
never lived there, Daniel.
Wait, are you Korean or not? I bet you're
The Allies
Japanese.
now had 19
Nah.
German divisions trapped in the
Oh,
Falaise pocket.
full-blooded American.
The Germans began
Are
to
you?
evacuate on the night of the 16th of August. Under continuous bombardment, they managed to get between 20 and 40,000 troops out. Over the next few days, the British, Canadian, Polish, and American troops tightened the noose. 50,000 Germans were taken prisoner.
Ha! Fucking losers.
And mechanized weapons were abandoned. When the Allies closed the gap, the scene inside the Falaise pocket was one of terrible carnage.
It's difficult to describe, really. It's so horrific.
He's in daddy.
Stretches of roads, fields, locked up, covered with knocked out vehicles, dead horses, bodies, absolute carnage, all heading one way, east, and all still and dead.
You know, the Germans had a lot of horse-drawn equipment, artillery, whatever. Well, you never saw such a carnage of dead horses in your life, and the odor was just unbelievable.
"10,000 Germans were counted dead. Kluge, the German general, wrote a letter to Hitler saying that the war was as good as lost, and then committed suicide with a potassium cyanide pill.
One cyanide pill a day keeps the Nazis away.
I think that was the beginning of the end of the German occupation of France.
But the story of the Normandy breakout...
Most of little cope word. Most of the Allied crewmen that were killed during the Second World War were killed outside of the tank.
With American tanks advancing across northern France, the German army...
Oh yeah, a 4176. God, that thing's hot.
On the 25th of August 1944, the German garrison in Paris surrendered. The commander there ignored Hitler's order to destroy the city first. Nobly, the Americans paused and allowed free French soldiers to liberate their capital city. The final victory parade in Paris marked a truly immense triumph.
The Battle of Normandy was decisive in the war in the West. And it was very important.
Yeah, I believe it. No, US.
250,000 Germans.
It was US, but like I feel like you can just stretch that to pretty much Allied, or just Allied, not counting the USSR.
Captured by the Russians when they destroyed Army Group Center on the Eastern Front. Either of these would have been a serious defeat in isolation. Put together, they put the German army under the sort of pressure that it couldn't possibly withstand.
And for the production process at home. Enough Shermans had been produced to win through despite their weaknesses.
Shermanic hordes.
Four. I mean, they were produced in such vast numbers. Goodness knows what we would have done without.
Okay, so we don't have anything better than the Sherman tank, but it's American, and we'll do with what we've got.
We knew
America!
Democracy. The pride was that Americans could do it. We could manufacture these tanks, and we were told they were good tanks, and they would help us win the war.
They were.
They were very good tanks.
The Sherman tank had led the breakout and the victory that had crushed the German army in the west. Now the way was opened for an assault against Germany itself.
AS2 can kill a German in one shot.
Yes! Yes!
Yeah,
Fuck!
see, Norman agrees. Norman
Woo!
agrees. IS-2 can kill a Sherman in one shot.
It takes 5 tigers to kill a Sherman.
And it takes one IS-2 to kill a Tiger. So, it takes 5 Shermans to kill a IS-2.
Huh. Interesting thesis.
Anyways, lesson. The good old worker manufacturers of the Soviet Union can produce better tanks than the American KKKs.
Are you drunk?
Dude, you used me as your, like, alcohol guinea pig. Alright. I need to throw up this burger so I don't get fat, so I'm gonna have to fucking leave. Bye.